just did a little upgrade to the Rotopax setup I got on here. I'm about to replicate it on the other side too, but basically I got a killer deal on these gallon jugs here locally. One of them needed a cap. This one needed the cap fixed. Luckily, I had a lot of spare parts left over from these two original ones that I bought in 2017. So I went ahead and added this little bar, and I used a square tube that I cut in half so that it had a little bit more rigidity going out rather than just a flat bar. And I welded it up in there. Probably not my best welding job, but nonetheless, it works, and it should hold the gallon of gas that I have there for a really long time. And I made it match the profile of the top bend here with the cap, where it's the right height and everything. I'm gonna do it again with that piece down there, like I said, on that side for the additional water tank that I bought. Like I said, this one needs a cap. Eventually I'll be purchasing a cap for it. Then we're gonna move on to this, which is actually the second half of why I ripped this square tube in half. We're actually gonna build a chainsaw rack. Just dream with me here. It's gonna be back in here behind this gas tank, and it's gonna stick out here, not this far, and then the back side of the saw is gonna rest on this bolt head right here along the post that holds my tent. And basically the saw is gonna slide into there. Then I'm gonna put a chain link or something up here on this top post so that I can chain my saw to the trailer where it doesn't slide in and out of this little rack holder that I'm gonna build for it. And basically I'll have a chainsaw mount with fuel on the trailer for it. It's gonna be great. Minus being painted, I got the two sides mounted. You can see I rounded this off, made it where it wouldn't bust any knuckles or just make deliberate cuts. And then I strapped in both sides of Rotopax, and I think it looks really clean. Generally speaking, pretty close to being exact on both sides, level wise, and there's plenty of room underneath these to mount them where they don't even touch, because they're slightly shorter than this is on its side tall. So there you have it. Sweet. It's the next day. We came back and took the Rotopax off and started painting the new mounting points for the Rotopax. Today was a pretty decent day. It's 65, so it's warmer for this season. And we just wanted to get paint on them so they wouldn't rust. Now we're moving on to the chainsaw project. So I took the steel I was talking about and I cut them the length of this guard. And basically the concept is put the guard in here, be able to slide it in like this with the chainsaw, and then have a cap on top and a cap on bottom, roughly like that, with some flat steel and the pipe on the trailer kind of holding them together. And then basically it'll mount like such right here. It's going to mount, come back this way, and the saw will slide in from this way into it. And then I might have to build one little support piece to give it some rigidity so this end isn't flopping around back here with the saw in it. That goes down to the inner fender well right there. As you can see, I took two scrap pieces of metal and made this little brace to kind of just hold the end of it up to give it just a little extra rigidity here where the saw is kind of going to be resting on it, and kind of got it leveled where basically we can have our saw sitting in it, and it's about an inch higher than the rail of the tub. So I made sure I accounted for that. You know what? Let's get the saw. We'll just set it on it and kind of just place it there. Hopefully we can do it without knocking everything off. But basically, make sure it's looking good. Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, it's already holding the saw in place. We might have to lower this end just a little bit so it gives that part of the saw a little bit of clearance to slide in and out easier. But really, that's looking pretty darn close to what I'm going for. So, slight design change. I went ahead and bolted that through that factory hole, and then I thought, if I'm bolting it once, I might as well bolt it a second time back here. So as you can see, I put that little tab, and I'm about to weld it to the frame, and then if I ever need to take this, you know, chainsaw rack off and have less stuff in the way, I always could do so. So that was kind of a design change. And I'm about to show you my second design change, but let's get this mounted first. So this is the modification to my overall rack that I think I'm gonna stick with, because if I have two full-length things, one, it would want to go uphill to fit the curvature of the top of this guard, and we just don't want that. And then second, it would make it very hard to actually slide it in past this post, where if we give a little bit of room to kind of come in at an angle and then pop it in place, it's a lot smoother of an action. So we're going to take these two pieces of flat bar, 2 inches wide, weld it at the bottom, weld it at the top, and make this piece barely go uphill, but basically just be built off the bottom piece. Well, after welding that in together and putting it together where it holds this top piece at the slight angle like I was talking about, I nosed the saw in, and it's pretty solid by itself, surprisingly, just with that. Granted, you gotta consider the saw is in this sheath, or the protector, or whatever you want to call it, and could just slip out of it. So you gotta kind of factor those things. And I think I was overthinking the chain system, because honestly, I have enough room underneath my tent to just slide the chain through and lock it to the handle, and then I can put a little bit of pressure on it by sliding back, and I know it's not gonna slide past the tent. And basically this thing, it wants to keep seating itself back into the nose of the guard. So I'm gonna say that's gonna be good. I'm gonna paint this off camera, and basically this is gonna be this project completed. I might slap the Rotopax stuff back on and show you what it looks like with that in place, but I'm gonna say this is a completed project, and man, do I like how it turned out. It turned out great. The saw bottoms out right here. I mean, it's gonna work great for me. This concludes this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I love just doing basic fabrication like this, so hope you guys have a good one. God bless. See you later.